Hi, Gemini. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for August of 2021. We're the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale Miller. I'm in Berkeley, California.
And I'm Julia Mikos in San Francisco.
Well, Gemini, this month there's a gathering of planets in your fourth house, which is where Virgo resides. And you'll see that four things go through that house this month, bringing a lot of attention to your home life. Some of it may be stressful. Some of it may bring, delight, but, kind of a mixed bag there in your fourth house. In a natal and transit reading, you could find out more about what this means in detail and put some well-deserved attention on your nest. So let's look at the chart because there's been this Juno relationship retrospection period going on for the last several months. And Juno has been traveling backwards, retrograde in Sagittarius in your seventh house, which is the domain of relationship. So I think this has been a fairly big deal for you. And it's been a time when we've all been asking ourselves, how can we grow in our relationships? Are our relationships stagnant? Are they making us stagnant? And how can we introduce some growth and expansion instead? And if you've been thinking about that, well, August 2nd is the day when Juno goes direct. Here you can see it happen. Boom. There it is. Juno is direct, but it doesn't really speed up until the end of the month. And so we're all going to continue to be picking up the pieces after this relationship retrospection and putting some new changes into place going forward so that we can feel more expanded in relationships. And with this Juno sitting in your seventh house, I think that applies to you really most particularly. We've got a video about it in the June 2021 news playlist. Juno, that's pretty easy to remember. And so you can find out more about it there. Hey, Julia, you want to tell the Geminis of the world about Mercury, Venus, and Mars?
Yep. Well, hi, Gemini. We'll begin with Mercury. That's the planet of communication. It also relates to a lot of where your thinking is going to be throughout the month. So from the very beginning of the month, Mercury is going to be in your third house, which it loves to be in. This is the house of learning, which Mercury loves to do. Also writing, Mercury's great at that. So if you have to learn something new, if you're writing something for your personal or professional life, you're going to get a great boost there. You know, it's an unblock. It's a writer's unblock you're having.
There you go.
Yeah. And then on August 11th, Mercury is moving into your fourth house. A lot of fourth house activity this month. That's the house of family and home. So after the 11th, you're going to be spending a lot of time thinking, strategizing. Maybe there'll be more communications with the people you live with and family, as well as thinking about how you can make your home more satisfying, where you want your next home to be. Then Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationships, she begins the month also in your fourth house. And that means you'll be feeling like home is just super pleasurable, super supportive during this cycle. Wherever Venus goes, she brings some harmony. So you could be getting along really well with your family members, people that you live with too. Wonderful time for also decorating your home. If you have some like little home projects that you've been wanting to sort of tackle during this time, actually a really great month for doing home projects. Then Venus moves into your fifth house on August 15th, so halfway through the month. And then you're going to want to kind of get out a little bit and maybe socialize, mingle a bit, because the fifth house is the most fun house in a lot of ways. It's the house of dating. It's also the house of creativity. So if you have a creative streak to you, this is a pretty productive period for artists. And so for all the single Geminis out there, great time to meet somebody new. And for the ones who are attached in a relationship, then this could be a time to enjoy your partner sort of with the hobbies and the fun activities that you like to do. It's a very much kind of go out and paint the town red sort of transit. Then Mars, the planet of action and activity, is going to be in your fourth house of home all month. So when Mars is in the fourth house, you could be expending a lot of energy because that's what Mars represents around the home place. There could be a potential of some conflicts on the home place too, because Mars sometimes gets a little bit feisty, but you can definitely channel all that Mars energy into just kind of doing a lot of work around your house for sure.
Well, there are a couple of moons to talk about, also a retrograde pivot. There's a new moon on August 8th, and Boom. Here it is in Leo, which is your third house, which Julia was talking about before. This is the house of communication. It's the house of learning. This particular moon has some sweet harmony connecting with Chiron. And the moon in Leo can bring about a sort of an egotistical vibe, a big head, if you will, confidence, pride, overconfidence. But the trine to Chiron is a lovely opportunity to radiate your pride in self in a way that is inclusive of others being proud of themselves as well. But I do have to say that there is a Uranus issue here that might stick in your craw. Uranus in Taurus squaring that moon might bring up some egotism, some agitation, some desire to stick out from the crowd and be noticed. So we're calling this one pride springing from wholeness, not ego, because that should give us an opportunity to take in and use the positive attributes of this moon instead of the negative ones. This falling in your third house of siblings, neighbors, and housemates, the people that are right around you all the time and that you do a lot of communicating with. I think that projecting your communication and your voice with confidence is wonderful. Projecting it with, pride or wounded pride, less wonderful. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is that Uranus goes retrograde, and just keep your eye on this little Uranus symbol here in the 12th house. Watch for the little red RX to appear right next to it. And there it is. So Uranus is the rebel and revolutionary and brings big changes, sometimes the unexpected, and conceptual shifts too. It can introduce new wacky ideas. And along with that can come a feeling of agitation and rebellion. This is happening for you in the 12th house. So, this is a house of secrets, particularly family secrets, stuff that mostly hangs out in the unconscious. And Uranus could be stirring the pot this month, especially around the day when it turns retrograde. And such pot stirring might send you on an inward journey to discover, what does it mean to be the black sheep or the truth sayer, perhaps. So if you are having a Uranus transit to an actual planet in your chart this year, that planet would have to be placed between 10 and 14 degrees of a fixed sign, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo. And if you are feeling this stuff that I'm describing about, like agitation, possibly insomnia, feeling like you want to break out, break down, break through, then you should absolutely check in to our August 2021 news playlist and find the video called Uranus Transits, How Do They Feel and How to Handle Them. You'll find good stuff for you there. So there's another moon that I want to tell you about, and it happens when the sun is in 29 degrees of Leo on the 21st here, and the moon is in Aquarius opposite that, and Jupiter is here too. We're calling this hot summer night party moon because the sun in Leo is like, dog days of summer. They call it that because the dogs lie around panting and like chilling and looking for someplace cool to be in the northern hemisphere anyway. And the moon in Aquarius is very, very social. And then Jupiter is also very gregarious, hanging out with that moon. So definitely party hardy, but not too much. This Jupiter is actually falling in your 9th house with that moon. And so gathering together with groups of people that you share a worldview with, or religious and spiritual groups might be a really great way to spend this moon. That might also prevent the overindulgence that this moon might experience. And spare a moment to look up in the sky at the big, beautiful moon with Jupiter twinkling right next to it and raise a glass. Last thing I want to tell you about is that the sun moves into Aquarius, into Virgo on the next day, and that's your 4th house, which Julia was talking about being very populated this month. The house of home and family, domestic life, heritage, and roots is getting a lot of attention this month. And so Mars might have you wanting to do projects. Venus might have you wanting to do beautification. Mercury might impact your communications. And the sun just tells you to bring your attention to your home and your nest and how to make it the most wonderful, relaxing place for you, a true haven. And it's been said that what we put our attention on grows. And that's what the sun is all about, shining the warm, golden sunlight of attention into whatever area that the sun is passing through. In this case, your fourth house of home and family. So bring attention there and watch things thrive. Well, if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will share it with those that you love. And I hope that you will subscribe to our channel and find your way to our website, pandoraastrology.com, where you can find more horoscopes like this one, also a monthly forecast, and classes, and also readings. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.